Emeka's mother said nothing and insisted that she knew nothing of what Adaego was talking about. Angry, Adaego waved her hand across Nonye and immediately Nonye started coughing out blood. Before Mazi Onochie and his wife could run to their daughter, Nonye died immediately. I will take the life of your other daughter also if you do not confess and tell your family what I am talking about, Adaego warned. Welcome to Iyagba's Epic Tales. In the big living room of Mazi Onochie, the whole family is gathered. The eldest child and only son and heir of the family was going to introduce the girl he wishes to marry to his family that day. Mazi Onochie is a well-respected chief in Obodo Awala village. He is the Onowu, which also means that he is the head of the kingmakers of the village. Mazi Onochie is well respected as was the king because of the position he held. He was also a wealthy man and people say that he is more wealthy than the king himself. The name of Mazi Onochie's wife is Daberechi. Mazi Onochie and his wife has 3 children, Emeka, the first and only son, and then Nonye and Amaka, who are daughters. As was the custom, Emeka would take over the position of his father as Onowu when his father is no more because it is a family heritage. So, Emeka is also regarded highly and seen with the eyes the people of Obodo Awala sees their prince. Emeka had informed his family 2 weeks earlier that he had seen a beautiful girl he is in love with and wants to get married to her, and had promised to bring her on that particular day. The whole family seated and waited patiently for Emeka to bring the maiden home, as they were eager to meet the maiden who had captured the hearts of the family's heir. Finally, Emeka arrived with the young maiden. Nnam, Nne, everyone, meet Adaego, the girl I wish to marry, Emeka said. Nnam means my father in Igbo language and Nne means mother. The whole family welcomed Adaego heartily. They were pleased with the young maiden their son and brother had brought home. For Adaego was indeed very beautiful and she also looked homely. Well, one cannot judge that a maiden is good to be the wife of their son by just her physical beauty alone. It is required, most especially in African culture, that they know about the girl's family and background, and it is with this that Emeka's parents began to ask Adaego about herself, her family, and the compound she had come from. Adaego told them that she was from Abamala village. Daberechi, Emeka's mother, smiled because she was also from Abamala village. Adaego went on. She told them that her both parents were late. Her father had died few months after she was born, and when she was only a year old, her mother died also. It was her maternal grandmother who had raised her. I am from Agwu family in Abamala village. My late mother's name is Oluchi Agwu, Adaego said. Did you say your late mother's name is Oluchi Agwu from Abamala village? Daberechi, Emeka's mother, quickly cut in and asked. Yes, her name was Oluchi Agwu, Adaego replied with a gentle smile. On hearing what Adaego had said, Emeka's mother began to shiver, though she tried to maintain her cool, but it was obvious. Nai, I need to have a word with you now in private, Emeka's mother quickly whispered into her husband's ear. "Our son cannot marry that girl," she said immediately they got into their bedroom. "Why?" her husband asked. "I know Adaego's family. They are not good people," she replied. "You could still have told me this after our guest leaves. Why do you have to drag me out? No matter what, it is rude to our guests," Emeka's father said. "No, my husband. You need to call our son now and ask him to tell the Adaego girl to leave immediately," Emeka's mother said, still shaking uneasily. At that instant, Emeka, who had just walked in, heard the last thing his mother said. "Why do you want me to ask her to leave immediately?" Emeka inquired. Emeka's mother went on to tell her son the same story she had just told her husband and begged that Emeka forget about Adaego and make her leave immediately. Emeka, not convinced by what his mother had just told him, angrily walked out of his parents' room, and his father followed him behind. Emeka's mother also slowly walked back into the living room. At that instant, Adaego stood up and began to laugh in a weird manner. And then, the wind began to blow fast in the room, causing everyone to feel a sudden cold and have goosebumps. Everyone was taken aback by Adego's sudden weird laughter and the change of atmosphere. "So you are scared? You are scared? Do you think that after making me kill my mother and subjecting me to a life I never chose for myself, that you would enjoy your whole life as well?" Adaego asked, directing a question to Emeka's mother. "What is she talking about?" Emeka, who is also now shivering, asked his mother. "I don't know what she's talking about, to my son. She told you that she's not good for you," his mother replied. "Lie! Now confess and tell your family what I am talking about," Adaego said angrily. But Emeka's mother said nothing and insisted that she knew nothing of what Adaego was talking about. Angry, Adaego waved her hand across Noye, and immediately Noye started coughing out blood. Before Mazi Onochie and his wife could run to their daughter, Noye died immediately. "I will take the life of your other daughter also if you do not confess and tell your family what I am talking about," Adaego warned. But Emeka's mother still insisted that she does not know what Adaego was talking about and has nothing to confess to. With anger again, Adaego killed Amaka, their other daughter, in the same way she had killed Noye. "Next would be your son if you do not tell your family what I am talking about," Adaego said again. Emeka and Mazi Onochie, scared this time, began begging Dabereshi to speak and to confess if she knows what Adaego was talking about. Then, with little hesitation, Emeka's mother began to speak. Many years ago, while Emeka's mother was still young and was yet unmarried then, she had a best friend called Oluchi. Daberechi and Oluchi were quite close until Oluchi got married. Though married, Oluchi tried to maintain the relationship that existed between her and her friend Daberechi. Oluchi got pregnant and bore a daughter for her husband. Unfortunately for Oluchi, when her baby was only 5 months old, her husband fell from a palm tree and died, leaving Oluchi to raise their young daughter alone with only the help from her mother. A year later, Oluchi found love again in a young clothes merchant. The man was going to marry Oluchi and accept her child too. This angered her friend Daberechi, who was still yet to be married, as she had eyes for the young clothes merchant. Daberechi was pained that Oluchi was always getting the attention of every man and always getting every other good things, whilst she herself always goes unnoticed. Daberechi, tired, complained to one of her aunts about it. Her aunt decided to help her and took her to a juju house. The juju priest gave Daberechi a substance to put on Oluchi's meal, which, according to him, would divert her glory to Daberechi. Dabereshi did as the juju priest instructed, but nothing happened. Oluchi kept finding favors with people. The juju priest gave Dabereshi yet another substance, but that did not work also. Since the juju priest's substances did not work, Dabereshi's aunt then asked that Dabereshi find a way to dedicate Oluchi's young daughter to a women's cult as a sacrifice, and that her wish would be granted. Desperate to overshadow her friend Oluchi, Dabereshi added the substance her aunt gave her to the meal of Oluchi's daughter while pretending to help Oluchi feed her young daughter. Unknown to Dabereshi, her aunt was a witch and was part of the village witch cult, and so by adding the substance her aunt gave her into Oluchi's young daughter's meal, she had initiated the child into the witch cult. The child was made to kill her mother Oluchi by sucking her blood dry whilst the mother breastfed her. It was after Auntie Oluchi's sudden death that Dabereshi realized that her aunt was part of the witch cult and had tricked her into initiating Oluchi's young daughter. Dabereshi, out of fear and guilt, ran to her maternal village Obodo Awala, which is where she is now, married and settled. Adaego is the young child who had been innocently initiated into the witch cult and made to kill her own mother. Could you do something so despicable out of envy and jealousy? Emeka and his father asked after the whole confession. Well, before Dabereshi could think of what response to give to her husband and son, Adaego crossed her hands over Emeka and killed him also. Then she laughed and disappeared. It was obvious that she had only come to take revenge on Dabereshi. The shock of losing all her 3 children in one day made Dabereshi go mad instantly. She began to roam the whole village, and as she displays her acts of lunacy, she kept saying, "I made a little child kill my best friend because I was envious of her, and now the child has grown and has killed all my children too. No one can escape Nemesis." No one can escape Nemesis. The end.
I hope you enjoyed the story and have learned a thing or two from it. I would love to know. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.